All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on ELEGBETETVRADIO. My name is Daffy Matthew 7, and you love to call me the Elegbete One of Sports. And it's a pleasure to be on your faces via Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube today, as well as those of you listening via the mobile application, the website www.elegbetevcom.com/radio. Thank you for loving us so much to spend your 1 hour with us. Okay, you know how the show is. You bring the talking point, I bring the talking point. We both bring the talking point, and we analyze it and talk about it, and bring different angles, perspective. So wait, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We just have to give our different perspectives. So if you're watching on Instagram, you can type in whatever question you want me to answer, and I'll try my best to bring my own opinion to it. Might not always be right anyway, and it might not always satisfy you, but I'm going to give you my best shot. If you're on Facebook, the same way, just go to, if you're watching live, go to the comment section and drop whatever thing you want us to talk about. I know it's the international break week, and there's plenty of talk, but then there's also plenty of speculative rumors going on. And if you're on the YouTube channel as well, you can do the same thing. Somebody sent me a message, very, very long one. I'm going to try and read it on the show and give it. Okay, on WhatsApp, I see that it's long already. Let me see. I'll try and give it the best answer that I can give as best as I can as we go on the show. Well, before I go to the message on WhatsApp, let me quickly, go through the speculations that are going on in the beautiful world of sports. Consider BBC.com. Yeah, there's plenty of talk. I said earlier some time ago that Newcastle will no longer be a team that you can do without, even though they are not winning, even though the results are not going well. We would always talk about them because now they are the team to talk about. They've got that much money, and we will talk about them. And Emmanuel Omoeta Stable said, why is Siri Dessa not invited? I think he had injuries. Is he back? I don't know, but it's not available. That's the reason why he wasn't invited. And the players in his position that seem to be doing well. Okay, Everton and Newcastle United are interested in signing Juventus and Wales midfielder Aaron Ramsey, who's 30 years of age. Let's see how that will go. Manchester United are prepared to sell France midfielder Paul Pogba in January transfer window before his contract expires at the end of the summer. Not the one you will see buyer. I'm not sure anybody will buy him in January when they know that by the summer they will definitely have him, especially none of those teams in the Champions League knowing that they cannot use him to play any game in the Champions League. So why would they go and buy him? Aston Villa will need to pay Rangers $2 million if the Premier League side decide to appoint Steven Gerrard as their manager. Well, that's good. We cannot say that coaches can also be transferred. There's transfer fee on coaches, not as big as that for players anyway, but there's transfer fee for coaches. Newcastle United's new manager Eddie Howe is targeting Atletico Madrid's and England fullback Kieran Trippier 31 in January. Money is not a problem, but buy the right players so that you don't go on relegation. That's just the only advice I can give to you. Barcelona stars remains disgruntled with Brazil midfielder Philippe Coutinho accusing the 29-year-old of darning tools amid rumors of a potential move to Newcastle United. Well, they shouldn't be angry about him. He's not been adding value to the team. So if he wants to go, let him go. If your girlfriend do naga, let him go. Is that not how they sang that song? Okay. Manchester United, Leicester City manager Brendan Rodgers is the favorite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Manchester United boss. I see. Now you see that everybody is using Manchester City as a springboard, as a sandcard to sand people out. When that rumor came out that they told him that he's the one that will replace Pep Guardiola, I laughed because it didn't make sense to me. There was nothing. That makes sense in that. Last November, exactly a year ago, Pep Guardiola signed a contract extension, and then you not think that Pep Guardiola will abandon that contract all of a sudden, and the people around Pep Guardiola are all his guys. So why would they make him abandon that contract and go away so that they bring in Brendan Rodgers? And who would really let Pep Guardiola go and then bring in Brendan Rodgers? It didn't make sense at the time anyway. But you can let Ole Gunnar Solskjaer go and bring in Brendan Rodgers, better quality players. I don't know if he can manage that dressing room. I still don't think that Brendan Rodgers is a great coach anyway. Manchester United need a great coach, and I think that if I was advising them, I'll tell them go and break the contract of German national team coach Hansi Flick. The German coaches, they are on the rise. But if you think Brendan Rodgers is good for you, that's also a coach that will make you not to make top four. Okay, so why let Ole Gunnar Solskjaer go and bring in Brendan Rodgers? It's time to get on the rebuild and then focus on winning, especially knowing that Newcastle are assembling a speed car. Okay, it's going to take them 2 seasons to assemble it, but that 2 seasons you might think is long, but it's just by the wayside, just by the corner. And when I say by the corner, what they have now is 2 transfer windows in this season already. They are going to buy some players in January to steady the ship. Those are what I call floaters. They are players that would help the ship stay afloat and stabilize them. They are not really players that will help them win titles, but will keep them afloat. And then by the next summer, they will go out there and convince people, get a good football director, get a good team together, and convince players to come in. You see what Man City did back in the day with Philippe, Robinho, Adebayor, Kelechi, Nasri, and the rest of them. Convince people that have been in the shindig of fighting for top 4 position, fighting to be at the top and all of that. And then eventually, you will now, end up bringing in the real players and coaches that will win it. So I don't think that bringing Brendan Rodgers to Manchester United is really, one of that glorious decision that you will take and it will give you the desired result. This is my opinion. Once again, I might be wrong, but hey, forgive me for thinking that way. I think that Manchester United should not be taking Brendan Rodgers, considering the competition in front of them. There's Man City, there's Chelsea. Chelsea will not go away. Chelsea is not a club that would wake up tomorrow morning and say, okay, I'm tired of winning titles. Roman Abramovich would love to win the Champions League back-to-back. He would love to win the treble. He would love to win the quadruple. He would love to win a lot of titles. So looking at Chelsea, Chelsea is always going to be in the title fight. Yes, they will go maybe 1 or 2 seasons not winning the league, but there's always going to be something. Chelsea is now obsessed with winning title, and it's been like that, and that's something good about the club. Liverpool have not found the winning, but the thing with Liverpool, I think Liverpool will crash. Whatever it is that is working for Liverpool right now is not sustainable. The reason why I say it's not sustainable, Liverpool believe that you don't have to spend that much money. When the clock runs out on Sadio Mane, Firmino, and Mo Salah, and that is 2 seasons away, I don't think they would see those kind of quality players again that are willing to die on a very small salary, on just about average salary, and then willing to kill themselves. And people always say that African players are the easiest sacrificial lamb for those kind of things. They've done their best and they've done it well. Can Liverpool sustain it? I don't think so. So in 2 or 3 seasons, Liverpool will fade out. But where Liverpool is fading at is when Newcastle will not breeze in. And then I hear that there are a few other people coming. Rakuten, for instance, wants to buy a club in the Premier League. So think about that as another competition for Manchester United. If they come in, they invest that much in the club, they might just make it almost impossible for Manchester United to rise. So you will see, and that also affects clubs like Arsenal and the rest of them. Winning the title will no longer become a given. Back in the day, it used to be a given. Manchester United and the others, and then Manchester United, Arsenal, and the others, and then it became Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and the others. Right now, it is Man City, Chelsea, and the others. Okay, I can't put Liverpool in that conversation. They've only won the title once in the last 30 years, so I can't wake up and say, "Oh, Liverpool and the others." No, they are competing, they are contenders, but they are not really in the top. But last couple of seasons, Man City, we've seen how many titles that they've won with different type of coaches. So it tells you that they are in that place, they're in the driver's seat, and then Chelsea follows them closely, neck to neck. You can't separate one from the other. But then Liverpool comes in again in the distance, and you look at that. So it means that if Newcastle comes in now, and maybe another club comes in again, Manchester United completely are falling off the wagon. That's what it means. That's what it means. The meaning of the implication is that Manchester United would have fallen off the wagon, and this is what about they say the centers cannot hold. Manchester United are hoping to beat Chelsea to the signing of 22-year-old France defender Jules Kounde from Sevilla. Manchester United have been chasing this defender since he was 18. That's 4 years now. Chelsea have been chasing him since last season. Something tell me, unless the player wants to play for Manchester United, if Chelsea needs this guy, Chelsea will get him. That's my thought anyway. That's me thinking. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm just the kind of guy who believe that in the Premier League today, there are 2 clubs. If they need, there's a difference between I want this player and I need this player. If they need a player and they are competing with another club in the Premier League, and the question is not like the club don't want to sell, but it's money. I think Chelsea and Man City are those kind of clubs that will go to any length to get it. Money is not a problem for them, and I love them for that. Okay, I might not be a fan of Man City or a fan of Chelsea, but I think I love the way Man City and Chelsea have been run. See, listen, all this whole idea of plan for long term, nobody knows what tomorrow will be. Live for the moment. That's one of my mantra in life. Live for the moment. Enjoy today. Yes, get a savings account, save money in real life situation. but also live for the moment. Now, person with their life, now you shop the money we save for bank. Not be save because I want to save money. I not go shop, I not go dress up, I not go look good, okay? Because I save money. Hey, I be full of I calm down. Okay, let's push further. Liverpool are interested in West Ham English winger Gerrard Bowen, 24. That's so it be when West Ham don't beat them now. Go, you know, English club are very funny. Once a team beats them, they go and look for who was the most outstanding player in that game that they defeated us. Oh yeah, let's go. Remember Mo Salah now when they beat Chelsea. FC Basel beat Chelsea. Oh yeah, Salah must come to Chelsea. That's the beginning of the story. But will not make a move for him in January. Newcastle United could land France forward Ousmane Dembele 24 on a free transfer if the winger refuses to sign a new contract at Barcelona. But Barcelona are prepared to offer Dembele a contract which is linked to how much time he can spend on the pitch. Genoa boss Andrei Shevchenko, their new boss, Andrei Shevchenko, the goal machine that rose to European prominence playing for a club called Dynamo Kiev when they went to Barcelona to beat Barcelona himself, and Sergio Rebrov, who eventually went to play for Tottenham Hotspur. At the time, Sergio Rebrov was actually the better player compared to Shevchenko, and they offered Sergio Rebrov, Shevchenko to Tottenham Hotspur. So Spurs said they don't need him, that he was too lanky, that he didn't really look like the guy. That what they want was Sergio Rebrov, and Shevchenko went on to AC Milan, won UEFA Champions League, won European Football of the Year, scored goals like goals. We're going out of fashion. The rest, as I say, you already know. He also coached Ukraine to the Euros, and Sergio Rebrov went from Go Bonga to Iraq Bangad. Okay, that's just let's leave that story. You know, Spurs and they are never having success kind of story. Okay, so let's not even talk about that much. Okay, he wants to sign Chelsea and USA attacker Christian Pulisic as a player for Genoa. Would he go? Would he leave Chelsea and go play for Genoa, who are always going to be struggling? Well, let's see how that goes. Barcelona should resign Argentine forward Lionel Messi 34 in 2023 when his Saint-Germain contract ends, says former club president and presidential candidate Victor Fonte. Why would he sign him? That's the question. Why? What is he coming to do? Okay, to come and cause them to fall into debt again? I don't know about that, but I mean, if you were you, I know I'm coming. I'm going to ask you some questions. West Ham would reject bids as high as 100 million from England for England midfielder Declan Rice as they want to build their future around the 22-year-old. Okay. West Ham are saying this now because they think that at the end of the season they will make the top four. They're going to play in Champions League. So Declan Rice is playing the obedient driver. Maybe the season end when West Ham is in 9th or 10th position and they don't even make it to the UEFA Cup, let's come and have this conversation again. Declan Rice on his own will go on strike. We all know that. Sure, they wanted to build Aston Villa around that was Bory. What's his name? Jack Grealish. Yeah. Jack Asmana. Okay. Well, we know he's playing for Manchester City right now. Time will tell. There's always the moment that people can come out and say this type of thing. But one time call, we know. Arsenal attempt to land 21-year-old Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic have hit a stumbling block due to the Serbia player's agent refusing to hold talk. Say no, never. Nehi Kaba. We're not talking to people like you. You're not even sure playing in Champions League. You're just getting the Cinderella beautiful run and you want to come and talk to our player to go from Fiorentina. Do we go from Fiorentina to Fiorentina? What's that? Come on. That's not chill. Know your place in this life. Stay your lane, okay? Ferrari and Beats will not be the same motor. Even if you are stuck in Lagos traffic, doesn't mean that they're the same car. You have to give distance, okay? Social distancing. You see, I drive on this road and sometimes I see that is it the last Maybach, but there's a Maybach that's always coming from it. When I see that Maybach, no matter how crazy I get, I like slow down. Oh. If you jam this one, then they talk sorry. Oh. If the man know what you pay, you go take your car. You just tell somebody make a driver go park for inside bush. Oh. So respect yourself. Social distancing. So they are telling us now, respect yourself. We are talking of going to play for Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich. You're coming with your Arsenal until all this club reject us. We can think about you maybe final day of the transfer window. But right now, Arsenal, day your day, look day our day. That's what that guy is saying. That's what the manager of Vlahovic is saying. Well, now take you to Stamara go call it a name. Not so talk. If you like, make it be crocodile. You go stick up at the end of the day. Newcastle United have entered talks with representative of 26-year-old Bayern Munich and German central defender Niklas Süle. Hey, Süle. Oh, yeah, come on, play. German side, Borussia Mönchengladbach, the club with the longest name, are Ansi Machachkala's name is also long. Okay, are considering a January bid for Arsenal and former England under 21 striker Eddie Howe. Please come and take him. Come and take him for free, sir. It's inconveniencing us. Giovanni Simeone, son of Atletico Madrid boss Diego Simeone, is top of West Ham strikers shortlist. The 26-year-old Argentine international is currently at Serie A side Verona on loan from Cagliari. Now, to quick bond, good. To quick bond. That's how they tell us more quick bond. Our parents will say no, that's same. It's a quick bond like when I did 20 now, my son for like 23 years old now. You don't understand? It's life. See, Simeone have a 26-year-old son. Imagine that. I would not train one person for university during the shipatical era of school. I would not train one person graduate for university now. And this expensive era where everything did there. Now I call it, oh, blood of God. Let me take this call, oh, my fault, Sha. Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Where you're calling me from? Yes, I can hear you. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling me from?
My name is Eddie Howe.
All right, go ahead.
With all these G's and transactions now, but I want to quickly ask one question that has been bothering me as an Arsenal fan.
I thought you're a Manchester United fan.
We had a player during this past summer.
What's his name?
Martin Odegaard.
Okay.
Me, I'm an Arsenal fan. That is not a bad thing. I cannot be a devil and be an no. I don't know what is wrong. I don't know what is wrong with Odegaard. I want to ask. Is it a mistake or is that the guy is going to come to you? Or is the shadow of the I don't understand. Please.
All right.
I don't know what's going on with the guy.
All right, I'll answer that question. Just listen. I don't think Odegaard have had like a really bad game like that. I think it's a case of the team in transition and he's played his beat. He's played his part. Arsenal still need another stable man in that position. Yes, I agree. And the fact that the way the team is playing, Arsenal plays through the wings more than they play through the middle. Like Arsenal is the miniature version of Pep Guardiola's Man City. It's just that the quality of players in Man City is so much that they can move the ball everywhere. If you look at Pep Guardiola's, Arteta's style of play, his focus is more on Tomiyasu and Saka doing the link up on the right hand side, and then Tavares or Tierney and Emilio Smith doing the link up on the left hand side. That now gives Aubameyang and, like I said, whoever is pairing with him, the opportunity to do the yo-yo so that they can drag the center backs of the opposition out of position and then give other players a chance to run it. That's why you can also see that Arsenal this term, Arsenal's center back are now having the opportunity to go into the high press. If you look at the goal that Smith Rowe scored against the last opponent that they played over the weekend, who did they play again? I've forgotten who Arsenal played now, but the 1-0 game, that goal that he scored, you'll notice that it was Ben White that went up on the press and then he got the ball lashed onto it. So it's because of the zip line tactics that Arteta have created. It's no longer easy to see the job of an Odegaard who plays as a central number 10. Let me just use that now, as a central number 10 in midfield. Now, having said that, you also have to understand that Arsenal deploys two defensive midfielders. Now, most times when teams deploy two defensive midfielders, you hardly see the job, the function of the number 10, especially if those two, Watford, thank you very much. You see why I say this show is about, we are both the presenters. Thank you very much. Watford was the team that they played. Now, because they played two defensive midfielders, and Arsenal is also playing the high press like Man City, it is hard to see that space, that pocket of space, that yellow and black line that you have to create for a number 10 to exhibit his work. That doesn't mean that other guys shouldn't raise his game. He should, but I think we should give him some time. He's not really had a bad game. The worst player in Arsenal this season is still Nicolas Pepe. But let me take his call. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Abraham from Ikorodu, talk to us.
You made a statement on Pogba when you get this out of money, going to make another championship. I don't know
Okay, yeah, actually, that was my mistake. Somebody even sent it to me as a message on WhatsApp. That was my mistake. Sorry, that rules have been changed actually, and I think I was living in the past. My head is booting slowly. Forgive me, I beg no verse. Isaac will do this morning. All right, thank you very much. Talking about the national team, I think that we will beat Liberia and Morocco. The pitches are good. It's just sad like that two of the strikers that the coach is supposed to rely on are coming in late. Sime just got into camp. Ojo Gallo still not got into camp yet, but I think he would come in and play for the home game if possible. But I think there's enough players in that camp to make them play. What will happen? It will be interesting now because the last time we played against Central African Republic in Lagos, Maduka Okoye came in late, and that's the reason why he didn't start. So I'm going to look at this now. Osimhen is coming in late. Would they start him or would they not start him? That would also have created some very funny conversation. Let's say Jude Ojo came in very early and Osimhen came in late, and then I dropped Osimhen for him. Nigerians will not say, "Oh, Ojo have come and now they're benching Osimhen." But it's interesting anyway. It's the headache that the coach have. I'm not the one that have that headache. Let me leave that to the coach. But if you're asking me, the intent of that question was to ask me if I believe in the team. Guy, I believe in the Super Eagles 1,000%. Like I always tell people all my life, I would always be sentimental. I will always be biased when it comes to talking about the Super Eagles. It's hard. Most times when I predict that Super Eagles are going to lose, it's just me doing my job professionally. But ordinarily, I'm in love with the Super Eagles to the point. You know the way you love a woman to the point where every advice that your friends are giving to you, now the girl you the first go tell, say, see what my friend is talking like, it's rubbish. My boxing said it better. I say, when a man loves a woman, nothing makes sense again. Every other thing, a rubbish talk it off. So that's how my love for the Super Eagles is. I'm always going to believe that they will do well. Whether I'm objective or not, I don't know. But the funny thing is, I've always got my prediction about the Super Eagles very, very accurate. Like that's the one team that I made my prediction about them very, very accurate. And then sometimes when I just think that the team is not going to do well, I just stay away. I don't make predictions because I really feel bad when I predict that the Super Eagles are going to fail. Like last World Cup, I knew we were not going to get past the group stage. But I didn't make any public predictions because it hurts me to do that. Remileko Oduni said, Mr. Elegbete, is the news about Arsenal interest in Vlahovic true? Yes, it is true. They've been on that since, but the agent is not interested in having a conversation with Arsenal because he feels like Arsenal is not up to the level. The player himself wants to play for Juventus. Juventus don't have the kind of money to negotiate for him right now, and also it seems like the Arsenal owners are not interested in really spending money. Okay, they've done what they want to do in the US by building that $5.5 billion stadium, and that stadium is going to be one of the stadiums that America is banking on to use for the Olympics because it wasn't part of the stadium that they put up for the 2026 World Cup, but the 2028 or is it 2030 now? 2028 Olympics, sorry. The 2028 Olympics, they are hoping that stadium will be the centerpiece for the opening and closing ceremony. Let's see how that goes. But then Arsenal will try. If they make it to the Champions League and Vlahovic is still with Fiorentina, that is if he doesn't move in January and Arsenal end the season making the top four, which I think they would do, maybe the conversation will change because if Arsenal is in the Champions League, I think Vlahovic will want to play for Arsenal. And I think that it also means Arsenal's attack need renewal. Aubameyang and Lacazette, I'm sorry to say this, I know people will not like it, but it's time for us to start thinking of them leaving the club. Yeah, let them move forward so that the coach can have a full circle to know that, okay, now he now have his own team and he's going to do what he wants to do with his team. Gabriel Martinelli is still a good player. It will come good if he can find consistency and confidence, to play. But we would see how that goes eventually. Newcastle United have entered talks with the representative of 26-year-old Bayern. Okay, I think I've read that one. Giovanni Simeone's, okay, the son, I've read that one. Former United States and Swansea boss Bob Bradley, 63, is set to become the manager of Major League Soccer side Toronto FC. That's that about stories coming from transfer window and transfer gist. This is long message that somebody sent to me. Bola Adekule sent me this message and I'm going to read it. It's not supposed to be something we discussed today, but hey, I'm going to make a section to this one anyway. Remileko said, and what do you make of the latest transfer of our Nigerian goalkeeper, move to Watford. I think it's a good one. It's a step in the right direction. It's a progressive step. When somebody makes a progressive step, you don't beef it. My only worry is that we're having too many Nigerian players playing for Watford. If all of them, I think that one, the whole idea of homegrown talent would affect some of them. I agree that Tristan Kong have a European passport, Maduka Okoye have a European passport that might just work in their favor, but they are Nigerians, they are not British citizens. So that homegrown talent might work against them at some point. Maduka Okoye, from the explanation that Professor, Precious Onosue gave yesterday, that's a very clear one. Benfosa, by the time he resumed with them in the summer of next year, Benfosa would already be 39. So 39 going to 40, that would be saying that Maduka Okoye, if he keeps his form, he stays consistent, he's going to be their number one, unless he drops form, he doesn't keep well, he doesn't adapt to the Premier League the way we expect him to adapt. I'll be fine. But then there's True Second, there is Dennis, there is Ogonekari Table, there is one of that. We're having a legion of Nigerian players in that team. That's my worry. But other than that, I think it's a progressive one. If you go from 1 minute to playing for Fortuna Düsseldorf, from there you go from there to Citadel, then you go to Rotterdam. Now you're playing for. You have signed for what's it called? You're signed for Watford. It's a progressive movement. It's upwardly. This is upward mobile movement, and I'm very happy for him on that one. But let's see how it turns out to be. We can celebrate all we like, but we want to see him perform. And the goalkeeping position is a very, very funny one. When you get your chance, you take it, and you show consistency, you are there. But then if you don't take it, see, goalkeepers are easy to forget. All of a sudden, some people don't even know if there's a guy called Ben Leno in the Arsenal team anymore, because somebody came in who has relegated to team, came in and delivered so well that even Eddie Howe now is saying that he wants him at Newcastle. Okay, the same Eddie Howe that said if he had put up this type of performance, his team would not have been relegated. So let's see how it goes. I think that it's a good one. Remy also said, and lastly, sir, Xavi appointment at Blaugrana, do you think that was a good move? Yes, it's the best move, not just a good move. It's the best move that they can make under the circumstance. Because first off, Barcelona needs somebody that would awaken certain spirits, certain sentiments, certain emotions within the dressing room, within the training ground, and morals are really down. Okay, so this is a guy who's done it, who knows it perfectly well, who knows how to work for others, who knows what it means to be a team player. That's what Barcelona is lacking in that team. Some of the players are not pulling weight, they're not working for themselves, they're not pulling for each other, so they need a guy like that. And I think that Xavi's got a point to prove. Xavi is not a regular run-of-the-mill kind of coach. I think that he's got a point to prove, and he would want to take that opportunity to prove that point. So, I think it's a good move. I believe it's a good move. Yes, I know that some people will come up and say, but not every ex-players have done well. Andre Pirlo didn't do well with Juventus. And I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, people know that I'm very sentimental when it comes to Andre Pirlo. I don't think that Andre Pirlo was a bad coach. I just thought he came into Juventus at the wrong time. And you could also make that argument for Xavi and say, is this not the wrong time? Okay, with Juventus, they were not really as bad or as low as what Barcelona is right now. And then they also have Cristiano Ronaldo. So you would expect that Pirlo was supposed to do well and get going, especially losing that game against FC Porto the way they did at home last minute, really, broke the camel's back. But I think that Xavi will do well and get going. I also hope that Andre Pirlo will get a job in the future and also prove me right that he's not as bad as I think he is. Nasri Olabode will have said, the program I can't afford to miss. Thank you very much. I'm going to go. Christian Mukoro is a good morning, bros. Good morning to you. Victor Malawi is a good morning. Please, what is your position on Victor Ikpeba's comment that Cristiano Ronaldo is -1? Yaba left, even carried the news, and every Dick, Tom, and Harry was criticizing him, probably because he was not a journalist. As the manner he dropped the comment caused the opera. No, but that's the right word. Now, he's a minus. See, so let's try and understand one thing. When you say he's a -1 in Manchester United, does not mean you're criticizing Cristiano Ronaldo. There's nobody who knows who have seen football or who's watching football today that have the right to criticize Cristiano Ronaldo. So Cristiano Ronaldo have given us way more than what 50 players would give to us in a career lifespan, right? So if Cristiano Ronaldo plays in a game and doesn't do well, nobody has the right to criticize him. But for Manchester United right now, And it's not just Victor Ekpeba. I was one of the first person who said it. And I know how many attack people were sending me messages, insulting me. Oh, I thought you know football, you don't know anything, you are stupid. Some people, I even had to block some people because some people who had no business insulting me. Because if I put my position, you say your own opinion. You don't have to insult me. Have to. But the thing is, currently, Manchester United does not need Cristiano Ronaldo. It feels like Cristiano Ronaldo is the one that signed Manchester United, not Man United signing Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's the -1. If you look at Manchester United today, once the ball gets to Cristiano Ronaldo, the rest of the players are not really moving because they're not sure if Cristiano Ronaldo will get the passes, like Nicolas Pepe holding the ball in Arsenal. People don't move. We're not sure he's going to lose the ball. So let's prepare our mind to defend. That's how they play. So he's a -1. That's the right word. Now, fans, I mean, Victor Ekpeba has been around long enough to understand it. Fans' reaction don't faze people like Victor Ekpeba or people like me, because the truth is, I know the game more than you do. That's the kind of attitude I carry. And people get angry when I say it. So the way I see the game, for instance, is different from how you're going to see the game. And if we don't agree, you shouldn't resort to insulting me anyway. But you don't have football get people high. Football is more addictive than alcohol and drugs and tramadol, codeine, cocaine, cracks, opioid, and the rest of them. So everybody is entitled to their opinion. That's the way I say these days. I don't even get into that shit thing. But truth be told, Cristiano Ronaldo is -1 for Manchester United. And then Victor Malawi wanted to say, though he said it from defending perspective. Whatever perspective he said it from, Cristiano Ronaldo is -1 in Manchester United right now. Edwin Chijoke Ibe, he said, yes, Liverpool share, even Minamino too. The guy showed Liverpool Pepe. They went to buy in ASAP. Yeah, most club does that. I don't know why they do it, but well, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Edwin Chijoke Ibe, say Arsenal played Watford at the weekend. Thank you very much. Bishop Levy, Negedu Abraham, it's a great one from you, man. Thank you very much. And then Adebola Temitope Oluwa Sheufumi said, good morning, bro. I want your honest opinion on Chelsea's chances to win the league this season. I still got to stand up to what I said at the beginning. I'm saying that Manchester City have my vote to win the title, to defend the Premier League title. But if there is one team in the league that can compete with them and challenge them to the very end of the season, it is Chelsea. Now, the player that will make Chelsea not to win this league title is Romelu Lukaku. This is what I said at the beginning, and I'm still going to stick to that. The player that will make them not to win the league title is Romelu Lukaku. If Romelu Lukaku don't play for Chelsea for a very long period of time, they would accumulate more points than if Lukaku plays for them. Yes, I mean, but when he plays, they didn't lose, but they were not fluid. Yes, they dropped points over the weekend, but since Lukaku got injured, this was the first time they're dropping points. So you need to put all that in one basket and see. And then Chelsea also have something I call the spine. Defensively, at the back, Chelsea don't concede goals that much. So they are a team that can give Man City a run for their money. The thing with Man City is we are getting to the time now when they get into that, they are 18 games of beating run. I don't know if it has already started because two games ago they lost to Crystal Palace, but the way they played against Manchester United, if City plays like that on a consistent basis, I don't think there's any team in the Premier League that can stop them. But if there's one team that can compete with them, I think it is Chelsea. Sorry, Liverpool fans, Patrick is not here yet, but I think Liverpool fans are still feeling like, oh, we are swashbuckling. The thing is they're picking too early, and during the African Nations Cup period, I know that Liverpool fans will be praying for Egypt and Senegal to be kicked out of the tournament as fast as possible. But hey, guys, that might not happen. So we'll see how that goes. I think that period, Liverpool will drop as much points as possible and will completely rule them out of the title race. But I might also be wrong. I mean, I'm not God. Desterus Henry, this side of a good morning from London. You are doing a great work, brother. Thank you very much, bro. Edwin Chidoke say thank you for seeing us as your choice to win the Premier League. We are going to defend our Premier League because Pep knows just how to play in a marathon league. The fans will win you trophies. So we, alongside Chelsea and Liverpool, are the favorites. Yes, I agree with you on that one completely. But I don't put Liverpool in the favorite position. I think that they have attack, but somewhere it will go wrong. Okay, Ezra Patrick said, good morning, boss. We are here. You never walk alone. I thought you're not coming on YouTube. He says Spurs has always been losers. Yes, they are. Quick calculation, boss. Now 43 years. Yes, I am. I'm 43 years. I'm going 44 by December 26th. Yes, among witness, I was born on the 26th of December 1977. Yep. Yeah, day after Christmas. My mom finished eating the Christmas chicken and then went into labor at night, and then the next day. But I actually didn't. She didn't go into labor because I was born in the palace of the Oba. So my mom and my dad went to visit the Oba the day after Christmas, and then she went into labor, and I was born there. And then my twin brother was born in the hospital like some few hours later. Okay, but he's dead now. Okay, he's late, so he's gone. Amogbaina said, "Say good morning." Ayo Okunola is a good morning, boss. Ume Ikip said, "What would you like say about Rivers Angels? They lost. They lost. They met a team that was good. They're playing in a competition that this is the first time they've not really traveled out of the country. Sometimes these things affect people, but people don't know. These things affect people when you go from." You know how when you cure somebody of blindness, when you operate the eyes of a blind person and you're supposed to introduce them to lights small. You introduce them to bigger lights like halogen lights, floodlight. They will go blind and it will be worse than what it was. So people get overwhelmed. For those of you that have traveled abroad, think about it. Your first time that you leave Nigeria and you go abroad. You see the changes, the disparity can unbalance you sometimes. So when you play football, something as small as the kit that your opposition is wearing can make you lose a game. Like, wow, man. Oh boy, see their jersey, oh, see their boots. You know, this was something that happened to us. We experienced it. So I know what I'm saying. Those little things can make you lose a game. It takes heart. It takes people that are bigger, like you have a stronger heart. But forget all these are jersey, we'll beat them. Okay? But it takes time, okay? Here's a Patrick, you say, but boss, our teams have not performed on the continent over the years. What is going wrong? We don't have good coaches. That's one. And then we've lost the concept of how football is run. We've lost that. We've not had good coaches. We've also not learned how to evolve. Football is more scientific. We're still playing with the analog way of playing football. And then most of our players are not coachable. And people will not agree with me on this one, but majority of our players are not coachable. The average Nigerian player is no longer coachable because the days of just bring the ball and have skill, let's play, is gone. So now football is like a mobile phone. You buy a smartphone, but to really enjoy that phone, you need to download some app, and those apps needs to be upgraded. So you can have apps on your phone, but if you don't upgrade and update them, they will not function to their optimal. That's how football is today. Our players don't do upgrade. Okay. You look at many players across Europe, you will see the evolution of their game. They go from just being there to wow, then to boom, to high performance level. Our players just get to, okay, I have a contract. Our players go from contract to contract. Okay, what it means to go from contract to contract, performing just about enough to be able to convince an agent to get you signed for the next contract or to move you to the next contract. But some people take the game of football and say, you know what, I want to etch my name at the very top. I want to do what Mo Salah is doing. I want to pick Didier Drogba's record out, and I want to do my own. I want to put my name there. We don't have those kind of players. We've not had a player who says, I want to win the African Nations Cup and I want to be judged based on my performance, not based on sentiment, but based on my performance. We've not had those kind of players. We've just had players who just, let me just get that money and build a house and become a big boy in my community amongst my friends. Don't forget that when you play football, the large number of your friends are poor people. So that you want to be a big boy among the circle of your friends does not really make you the big boy in the game that you are in. That's one of the biggest problems that we've had. And then we've not really have coaches, because coaching is a fundamental thing in success of anything. And over the years too, our administrators deviated from the path. They believe that to win matches, you need to buy referees. If you can bribe referees, you win matches. And we've traveled on that road for so long that it helped back the development of football in Nigeria, because every administrator said, why am I setting up academy? Why am I paying coaches when at the end of the day I will still pay referees? Those kind of things have been our problem. But hey, I don't know what to say. He said, what should be done to fix football in Nigeria, because we have the talent? Yes, but if we want to fix football in Nigeria, we need to set a long-term plan. I'm looking out for this whole thing that the minister set up, 10 years roadmap, why it will go, but I already think it will fail. I mean, I don't like wishing bad, but I already know it will fail, because, minister, next year they're getting out of office. Next 2 years they're getting out of office. Another person will come in. Nobody in Nigeria. It is only Buhari that I have seen in the history of this country since I was born that came into office and continue where his predecessor stopped, even though they are not in the same party. Some other president will come in and not even touch the railway line, because he knows that if I touch it, they will say, it's Goodluck Jonathan that started it now. the seaports. It's Nigeria that started it. But this is the first time in the history of Nigeria that that's happening in my time. I don't know about before I was born anyway, but in my time, since I came in, one person would start a project, another person would come and deviate. Even in the same party at state level, you see. But thank God, I mean, we might all not like Buhari, but when we see something he's doing that is good, we should mention it. I think that's where I have a worry. But if we have a good roadmap and stick to it, our football will revive. Let me go to this message from Agbola. It says Agbola, Agboola. Agbola. Yes? Okay, Remy. Agbola said, good morning, Edafe. I'm sorry that I'm sending you this message today. I know that you said on Friday we can ask you any question and you would oblige us. Unfortunately, last week Friday I wanted to ask a question, but as an engineer in my company, I was sent to go do an upgrade in an area where they have issue with their backbone. Do you know backbone? Oh, telecommunication. Okay, yeah. Okay. Why are you explaining that to me, sir? So there was no network. I couldn't listen to the show. Please, Edafe, I would like you to talk on your show today, because I'm in the office and I'm listening with my colleague about the people you worked with all through your journey in sports journalism, from radio and TV, and give us a few gist about them, and who are the people that influenced you or impacted you the most in your journey through this industry in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. Hey, let me first of all ask the people the jury. Guys, should I answer this question today or I should move it to Friday? Because according to him, I will not be in the office on Friday, and where I'm going, I'm not sure if the network will be good, because it's an interior village outside of Lagos. I don't know if network will be good enough for me to listen to you. Please, it will make my day if you answer this question. So guys, you have like 2 minutes to comment on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Should I answer this question today, or we should just focus on talking football and moving on with football, and then maybe I try to answer this question, bring back this question on Friday and answer it? What do you guys think? Whatever you think, I would do what you say I should do. Okay. Desteros Eri, he said Josh promising to invest in the Arsenal over the week. I think Arsenal will come back to the top club they used to be. I agree too. The Kroenke family will throw money into Arsenal. He made this promise, and we might start competing with Chelsea and others soon. I think so. And the fact that Arsenal have a good coach. Let's be very honest. Arsenal have a very good coach. I don't care what anybody wants to say. Arteta is a steal. Arteta is a steal. And Edu is working his way to the top. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's a Brazilian. And the fact that Arteta have been able to, make Gabriel Magalhaes, that was a calamity last season, make him, it got him Ben White. Ben White and Gabriel, now, don't get me wrong, are not in the level of John Stone and Ruben Dias of last season. But they seem to have a telepathetic understanding. They know how to deal with area balls now, something that normally troubles us now. They also know when to go forward and when to come back. They also know when to play out and when not to play out. And that's something that is very nice. There is still a little bit of chink in the armor, especially when Thomas Partey is not playing. And I'm worried about that for January when Simbi Lokomba is playing. But Arsenal does seem to have a direction, a pathway to glory. So it's a good one. Chooks essay say loyal listener reporting for duty from Alaba International Market. Well done, sir. Yes, I need you guys to respond. Should I answer that question? It's a long question. Edwin Chijokebe say yes. Answer in no problem. Okay. Let me check up with people from the other side of town. Ume, what would you like to say about as a Patrick, say what should be done to fix? Okay, I've seen that one. It's a channel for the people. Just answer. Hey, okay, so let me answer that question from a very, very honest point of view. There's only one person I worked with in radio that, for me, left a very negative impression on me. I've been privileged and I've been lucky to work with very nice people. The only person who left a very negative, and I say to him, I tell him all the time that, look, you would always be like that person that when I think about you, I get pissed off. Baba Femi Raji. Now, Baba Femi Raji is very good at what he does, but he rubbed off on me very negatively, very wicked. That's how he rubbed off on me. But he said his OCD is very territorial and all that. But I saw it as wickedness from the get-go. So I tried to avoid it in the years I worked, the 13 years I worked together. But beyond that, I've worked with some incredible people. That's why most times when people say that Nigerians are not good, Nigerians are lazy, Nigerians are wicked, I always don't fit into that conversation. You know why I don't fit into that conversation? Because I've met people, strangers, people who don't know me, who have been nice. So let me start with the person that have like impacted me, influenced me the most in this industry. Unfortunately, the person doesn't work in radio and television. And this person influenced me when I didn't even know whether I'll work on radio or television. And that's Alhaji Mumini Alao of Complete Football. So back in the day when I was in school, I started reading Complete Football in 1988. Okay, when I was still in primary 5, I remember stealing my mother's 3 naira to buy Complete Football. My mom beat the devil, the spirit of devil that possessed me to steal her money to buy Complete Football. Oh God, that was crazy. I remember the cover page had the Michael Biku in it. 88. I bought that the 3 naira for the generator. 3 naira. It was crazy, but I got addicted to it later on. And Complete Football was one of the reasons why I started doing conductor. Also, one of the reasons why I started working in Sanfi, started hawking, because I wanted to have my own money so that on Saturdays and I would be able to buy some sports souvenir, Complete Football, all those Complete Football extras. The years goes by, but Momini Alao Soccer Talk was the sweetest thing around football that I've ever read in my life, even up to this day. And I've read a lot of football journal, football diary, football biography, football reports. I live, eat, breathe, and think football. But Momina Alao's soccer talk, like every Tuesday on Complete Football. God, that man can write. Well, do like the best things that I ever read, and it's the reason why I predict the way I predict, because that man wrote a soccer talk entitled in February of 1998. He said he wrote it and he said Nigerians World Cup run banana peels, and he explained how Nigeria was going to play in the World Cup, what will happen, how we will behave, have quality players, but we fail. Okay, so eventually, by the time that the World Cup came in June, July, exactly what he wrote in February was what happened, and that was like if I ever became a writer, I didn't even know I wanted to become a talker. I would be writing. If I ever become a writer, I'll write like this guy. That was my influence. But then I came into radio in 2004 because I made a bet. I've said that many times. It's not like, oh, I was a journalist. I studied engineering in school. I got injured playing football, and then I tried to find something else to do. I went to work as an engineer in Escravos. We built the runway. If you walk in Escravos today, that airport runway you see, I was a supervisor. I was part of the people who built that runway, that airport runway that you see. Okay, so long and short, I came in 2004. I went for audition for 4 different radio stations. Umbrella first in June of 2004. I didn't make it, and then I went to Radio Nigeria by opposite the Going Cemetery. I didn't make it. They said my voice was so tiny. I went to Tiwa in Ikeja, Agedingbi. They said I don't know how to speak Yoruba. And then I went to Reading. And they said, Wally Scott, like, no, you can't. At least I was still there. But then in August of 2004, I think I got that opportunity to come in and do analysis with Computer. I was supposed to come do analysis with Ama Ignis, but then he wasn't around. And Ama Ignis called me and I went in and I did very well. And then that's where I started. So for 8 years, I was a freelancer. And in 2012, I got a contract to switch from Mr. Controversial to ELEGBETETVRADIO and do Pidgin English. Okay. Well, the stories, the people that have influenced, that have impacted me the most, that I met, worked with. Temis Anakomi. Temis Anakomi got me into ITV. You know, that was the time people were lobbying. I went to National Stadium to go and eat at OJ's. I saw Temis Anakomi and I said, man, I like what you're doing in Brilla. I think you should come and join us. And I just finished working, doing a project with Al Jazeera for 18 months that Shina Okeleji introduced me to do with Green Media, and it was nice, linked to football, and I'm still eating off that project to this day as I speak with you guys. So that's how much that was good. You know, I became Mission 89 ambassador because of that project. I did something with FIFA because of that project. So Stino Keleji is one of the great guys that I've met in the industry. Then Temisa Nakomi, the late Deji Tinubu, the first day he saw me at Ikorodu on ITV said, and like, just come and say, I like what you do, keep going. And then the person that I really mentored me, like who told me something that has stayed with me, is Uncle Deji Omotoyibo. Sorry, I'm using uncles and all that, but yeah, that's how much respect I've got for them. Uncle Deji Omotoyibo saw me on the 10th of January 2009, and he said, "Come, That was the first time we won the same set on ITV. I came in December 8th, but first time we won the same set was that day, 10th of January 2009. And he said, listen, you're one of the best right now, and you're coming up. You're one of the best rising stars, and from the way things are, you could become one of the greatest to ever come out of this country. But see, don't let the fame get to your head, because once the fans start hailing you, start talking, and girls come around, you lose focus. The fame is not important. Just do the work. This job does not pay you. There's no money in it. Just do it, and do it so much so that you're so good at it that maybe international organization will look at you. But keep going, keep your head calm. That's one of the best advice I ever got. And then people like the current chairman of Lagos State Sports Commission, Uncle Shola Ekpeku, was very nice to me. And then I made friends with Biola Kazim, Kiba Tibankole became like my sister, Tega Amaja Ife, Bada Kinsode Johnson, and Uncle Bode Oguti. Those guys were fantastic. I think ITV was the best place I ever worked in media. ITV was the best place I ever worked. At Brilla, I work with some of the most hardworking people. You know, if you consider how much people we get paid and the amount of time and hour we put in, I work with some of the most amazing people. Ama Ignis was great. Sunday Gude was great. Fanu Fechitire, we didn't get along that much, but he was a great guy. George Ocean was the most talented in terms of voice that I ever worked with on radio, as well as Big ID. Idemodi Alapa is nowhere now, Kiss FM. And in terms of research, I think it's Anthony Bekedero. I don't think there's anybody who does research. Okay, Murphy Jemba would match up with Anthony Bekedero, but in terms of sports research, Anthony Bekedero. My only problem with Anthony Bekedero for the years that I work with him, Anthony Bekedero cannot come back to tell you that, okay, I was wrong. Doesn't know how to say that. But it was as clean as a whistle. He's an honest guy, one of the most honest human beings that I ever worked with is Anthony Bekedero. And then the most talented person I ever worked with is Chidozie Okoroji. Chidozie Okoroji is the only guy that I know that can do all of the job that we do and do more. So he can report, he can write stories, he can analyze, he can present, and then he can do everybody's job and do it as good as they can do it, or if not better, when he's serious. But then, you know, Youthful Exuberance sometimes gets into his head, so he loses track. But one of the most talented guys that I work with. The most adaptive guy that I work with will have to be Yinka Sports. Yinka Oyedele Adeyinka. He came in with Ebuka and the rest of them. I remember auditioning them, and within a week, Yinka had fit into the system. He has adapted. He was so good. He's a great guy. And then the best reporter that I ever worked with will have to be Totori Master Francis. Actually, we didn't get to work together, but he was a reporter that was reporting into my show from Abuja. It was fantastic. And then Mohammed Suleiman. Let's talk about the people that I work with. I could say, okay, because of me, they got a job. Sexy Joe, fastest learner. You know, she came to do audition for an English show. She couldn't make it, and she was crying. She was leaving. I said, "You really want to do this thing? Why don't you do pidgin English?" I said, "I will learn if you give me a chance." And then within 3 weeks, she was now calling me Ship Pie, and it was fun. Sexy Joe was a fantastic person. The guy that changed radio, the guy that came into radio and turned radio around on its head, that did things that nobody's ever done on radio, settings that nobody's ever said on radio. It was the Dan Foster of sports radio, okay? It's Murphy Jemba. Murphy Jemba is so incredible, and people don't give him flowers for the things that he did on radio. Murphy practically changed radio on its head. Murphy practically made money for radio more than any other person. Murphy is the Stephen A. Smith of radio, right? He came into radio and he could use words that nobody's ever thought that anybody can use on radio. He could say things that nobody ever thought that anybody could say on radio. He could shout, he could scream. Murphy was incredible. Like when he calls himself the radio generator, he was the generator. The Buruchaga, the whatever, all of the things that Murphy calls himself on radio. Murphy was the reason why a lot of people get paid. But you know, we live in a country where people don't get respected for what they do because of the system that we're operating. But Murphy was an incredible guy. You know, I used to tell him that Brilla FM is lucky to have the two of us. So I am Lionel Messi in the morning and you are Cristiano Ronaldo in the evening, and the two of us are playing on the same team. And I used to tell him that, Murphy, listen, see, there's all this other radio out there. They're just reacting to what we're doing. They're not rich. You know, that's my attitude anyway. They're not rich. Sean Amadi always makes me laugh. Sean Amadi, like, was, you know, when you need your hero, you need somebody who would help you go the distance. That was Sean Amadi. Sean Amadi's loyalty to Murphy Jemba is something that I salute and I respect, and it's great. These guys were great. Another guy who Also, the most dedicated and most committed guy on radio that I work with would have to be Kingsley there. I don't see anybody like that. I've not seen anybody commit to a radio station like that. And I get very pissed when at the end people say we're not loyal. You know, man, Kingsley there did things that nobody knows because he was not just a presenter, he was our producer. So most of the soundtrack, the effect, the voice notes that you guys hear on air was all Kingsley There's work, and it was good to it. Kingsley didn't really have a shift. He was a guy that worked in the morning, early morning, wake everybody up in the morning. He was there in the afternoon, he was there in the evening, he was there at night, he was editing. He was the guy that was producing. When you hear music and sport, the chairman's show, it was the one that was producing it. Okay, come across like my own sister. Like I love that girl because she was consistent, she was good, and she was brilliant. She was great. Then there was another person that influenced me in radio, but he wasn't a broadcaster. He was the head of marketing. Babatunde Akimbode Semi was great. And then I had sisters like Alero, Oyidamola, and Omo. I think I've answered your question. And really, those are the people who really left a mark. I don't know if there's anybody I've forgotten now, but those are the people who left a mark, who made radio beautiful, and my life was not miserable. Give me a minute to pick up a charger, please. So those are the people. I hope you are happy. Engineer Agbola in your office, and you and your colleague, I hope you guys are all happy and you feel good about it. It was, I mean, that's a question that should come up on Fridays anyway, but it's good that the fans, everybody said I should answer it. So, Eze Patrick say, if Arsenal get a point at Anfield, then I will take them serious. A point, but normally Arsenal doesn't get points at Anfield, so it's not a big deal. But we can't get a point at Anfield. But I mean, Anfield is a very difficult place to go to right now, and Liverpool, good, really good. So that shouldn't be a yardstick. The thing is, they can lose points at Anfield and still gain points in other places where they normally don't get points. If you look at some of the games that Arsenal have gotten points off, the Crystal Palace game, previously Arsenal would have lost that game. The Watford game, previously Arsenal would have lost that game. The Burnley game, the Norwich game, those are games that, at the end of the day, they would have ended with losses. But Arsenal won. Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa, and the rest of them. So let's keep our fingers crossed, okay? It's not going to be the end of the world if Arsenal doesn't make it top four, but I think that Arsenal will make top four. Okay. Is a Patrick say overdose, my Mascom guy. Okay, is a Patrick say, you see, the question is a blessing. Amazing memories. Yes, it is. Yes, it really is. It's just that on Friday I make it open that you can ask any question. Why I avoid it within the week is that, you can bring it up. One person will ask, and then another person asks, and if you don't answer the next person, so the person start getting angry. We need to keep the show on the sporting side so that we give the fans Monday to Thursday, and then on Friday it's free for all. You can ask any question. Like somebody asked me the other day, how did I meet my wife? Somebody asked me, is it okay to spend lavishly on the wedding? I've always been against it anyway. I'm not a party person, so my choices will be different from yours. Ola Oluwa, I say, well done, ELEGBETE. Thank you very much. Festus Ogaga, Jekuku, bros. I greet you, well. ELEGBETE, bravo. Keep up the good work. Cheers. Thank you very much. Ogumbe Setoyo, Gbemini said, what of case lady? I just mentioned him, guy. Desteros Henry said, Dr. Larry Zamoji, Femi Fashionable, Femi Fashion, and autocorrect do that also. Murphy Jemba, Sean Amadi, to see you guys are good. Thank you very much, boss. I appreciate that. I'm talking about boss. Murphy and Sean will say, yes, boss. Yes, boss. Okay, so we don't have time anymore. Time is up. I need to go now. Peter Wanada is on the wings waiting to give us them CDMC sports tomorrow. Don't worry. Do you still do the YouTube channel predictions? No, I don't. There's a WhatsApp group for predictions, and football is getting so hard now to predict it's even hard. But there's a WhatsApp group for predictions, and we'll do that for people who use bet experience and winners going bet. Where is Murphy Jemba? Now, Murphy Jemba is in the US, somewhere in Maryland, having fun with his wife and two lovely kids. Okay, Sanchez and the baby. Okay, that's where we draw the curtain on the show today. Thank you very much, guys. Tomorrow I'll be here again. on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and WhatsApp and on the phone lines. Okay, you can join in. But don't forget, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. First off, I am very grateful for all of you guys who are subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're 5,000 plus, 5,031 as before I came on. So thank you very much for your support for this. And for those of you who are using Android, please do well to download our mobile application. It is Elegbete TV Radio on Android. The iOS, please, is coming very soon. I feel bad, like I'm leaving you guys behind, but remember, you guys said I should upload it too. Let's do it. The full interview we're gonna try is out, so you can go watch the whole thing instead of the bit part, and all the part that we cut out, all the part that we're missing, the questions that you didn't get to see. They are all on the full interview. You can watch it on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is Elegbete TV Sports. My name is Edafe Matthew. You love to come in the Elegbete World Sports. I've had a lovely and fantastic time with you guys. For the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds, Peter Ewinode will be here. After that, we'll go back to join our partners, Talk Sports, for all of the stories around the sporting world. God bless you. And let's do this again tomorrow from 9 a.m. in the morning. St. Wood for the first say, nice to meet you, Elegbete One. We all love you, and I love you guys too. One thing that I would say before I go, we agree that a lot of people think that the image of Nigeria is bruised, battered, destroyed. But you see, if each one of us start doing something that put the image right, all of those bruises will be healed, the wounds, the destroyed walls will be repaired, and Nigeria will be fine and be great again. God bless you, and have for yourself a lovely, wonderful, and a memorable day.
So this morning, that's so we enter inside Stamford Bridge. As we go to Chelsea Coachella, when they come Thomas to care. As we don't come out to say when international break comment, you know they get any different classes. In classes, just be straightforward. And we think just the